G'day, how you going? Jerry, how you going? Jerry, what did I buy? Spending too much money again. So it's that time of my PC career, well, my journey in PCs like everyone, where it's time to upgrade. So I went and bought this behemoth, and I liked it because of the ProArt motherboard that came with it. That's got a lot of features on the back and a lot of plugs and plays, whatever, USB, Thunderbolt. I don't even know what Thunderbolt is. The reason why I wanted to upgrade now, because my machine before was perfectly good, was because I'm starting to do 4K now, and my video processing is, on the photo side, it's all good and there's no problem there. It's just the video side, and that's why I needed a new PC. Photo wise, you can get away with a PC from 2018 or so, you know what I mean, an i7 with a decent graphics card. The one thing that I really enjoyed upgrading was the memory, because what I do, I flip between the video and the photo. While I'm doing a video, I'll be editing my video and I'll just go, oh, this photo here would be good. So I'll flip over to my Luminar Neo, and it will just struggle because obviously you've got too many applications in memory. So I've got 64 gigabytes of DDR5 now, so that should really help me multitask, I guess. I mean, it's not the ideal way of doing it. I mean, really, process your photos, collect them, then move over to your video, and then you've got, but I'd like to do it on the fly. I don't really need 4K for my channel, but now that I'm getting like huge amounts of views, hey Jerry! Yes, I know, I get heaps amount, because I'm up to like nearly 100 views per video now. So really, I use it on my big TV. I watch my videos back on my big TV, and I think a bigger proportion in my data, in my analytics, shows that people are using TVs now to watch YouTube. It's just easier instead of being in a chair in front of your computer or on your phone. I mean, the phone still wins out. So really 4K is overkill on the bloody phone. You're just using an OLED small screen. You don't care if it's 1080p or 4K. So, but for 4K, the other advantage of 4K is that you can crop in a lot. So for instance, this is filming in 1080p, but if I was in 4K, Jerry, I'd be able to talk like this. Jerry, talk like this. I'd be able to talk like this, and then Jerry, yes, I know. And zoom in on Jerry. So let's have a look at it. It came with this little do-it-yourself phone holder. I mean, that alone is worth the price of the $5,500 that I paid for it. It is just a behemoth. Now, I kind of was looking for a couple of weeks thinking, I want a small form factor. What the hell did I get this for then? I was looking at the NUC 12th generation or 13th generation, and that comes with a really good graphics card as well. Like, they've compacted those NUCs really corked together. But I looked at the price, and because you're paying for a small form factor with the NUCs, even though they're really good and they're good for content creation, just a little small brick on the side here, it's just the price. You weren't getting your money's worth with a NUC. Jerry, look at this one, Jerry. She's a beauty. All the peripherals are up the top here. USB, Thunderbolt, whatever. And it's dead quiet. That's the other thing. Or try and get one that's dead quiet, and one that doesn't vibrate, because I put it on the desk here, and when I'm editing for hours on end, my videos and my photos, because I'm a really shit photographer, so it takes me about 10 minutes to process one photo. You just hear this vibration on the bloody desk, and the sound of the fans and everything. That's a big factor when you buy a new PC. Ask the bloke, how noisy is it, and then does it vibrate? I specifically asked them not to give me stupid bloody neon lights, because this one didn't come. I think it does come with one, the neon lights and crap, because I can't stand the neon light thing. It just distracts me. But luckily this faces that way, away from me, so I don't really see any lights or any flashing neon, 12-year-old Asian kid playing, Galaga. Galaga? Playing Doom? Jesus, how old am I? So it's got the CPU i9-1300K. That's the 13th generation. So that's the latest one, is what you need for video editing, especially in 4K and 8K, because it's the CPU that does all the grunt. The GPU as well, but I found the CPU is what really does most of the, while you're actually editing. So you know what I mean? While you're editing, not like the GPU is good as well, but that's more for when you're actually rendering the video. That's what I found anyway. I mean, that's probably wrong, but i9, 13th generation, I can't remember what megahertz it is, but she's a beauty, and it's water cooled. I think this is water, I'm not sure, must be. And there's the fans there. 64 gigabytes of Corsair memory. This thing here is the GeForce RTX 4080 ProArt, and the motherboard is a ProArt content creator one with the Wi-Fi. I got the Wi-Fi, but I don't really need it. I mean, I'm not going to move this away from where I work anyway, so what's the difference? But I guess if I want to move this somewhere to the bedroom or something, I've always got the Wi-Fi there. Now, I'll tell you what, it's so fiddly, these things. Just putting in a bloody hard drive took me half the night, because you got to get in and you got to move this to get to that, and then trying to plug in the power and the SATA and the BATA and the charter. Hey, Jerry, it just got to... That's why I was going to build my own and maybe save a little bit of money. But really, at the end of the day, you're really not saving that much money, because the guys at the shop, I bought it from M-Wave, and they're massive. Like, they got all the parts, they know what to do. The one thing that's really hard building your own PC, it's not hard, it's just time consuming, and there's room for error, is compatibility. That's the worst thing about PCs over than Apple. Apple, there it is, mate, enjoy. PCs, it's like every bloody year this socket and that socket is different, and dim dom and so dim and Jim bomb, and it's like, can't you just stick to one bloody format? And that's why, I mean, there is some sites that I found, is this compatible? But then by the time you find the best price for that part, and then you buy it, you got to ship it, and then you get it all together. Does this motherboard fit this case? Does this case fit that? Which way do the fans go? Do the fans suck or do they pull? Jerry, I got crazy cuckoo with the whole building of the PC. So I said, you know what, Jerry? Stuff it. I'll just pay the $5,600 or $200 off, and I'll get them to build it for me. And this one was already pre-built. This one was a content creator. It's just a gaming machine, really. Any gaming machine is a content creator machine. They just try and, I think the motherboard kind of defines it as content creation. Now, one hot tip, graphics cards, don't get the latest 4090, because even with those graphs that I saw that Marco was doing on RobTrek's live stream, the 4090, and I've noticed this in the last generation that I bought, the 1080s, doesn't give you that much more than a 4080, and it's like nearly, $1,000 more. So why the hell would you want to get that just for a little smidget extra of power? I think it's more for gamers, really, but for video rendering and editing, it's perfect. It's good. You need it, but get the 4080. I've noticed when I had the 1080, I had two 1080 cards. That's another mistake, but I'll get into that later. Just get one graphics card. The 1080 or the 4080 in this case seems to be the sweet spot. There. I think that was a long-winded sentence just to say get the 480. Yeah, it's really good. Happy with it. Windows 11 came with it, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so I mean it was pretty overkill. That's a lot of money just for a bloody video, editing some videos on YouTube. But I thought I'm going to future-proof myself like I did with the other one. I'll show you, Jerry, the other one this is my original behemoth. It was the i7 whatever, can't remember. Everyone, even Linus Tech, everyone just goes, it's an i7, but the megahertz really matter. They go, what have you got? I've got an i7. Oh yeah, but which generation? I can't remember what generation, but it was quite the latest anyway. This bloody thing cost me so much money, and then it broke. And then 32 gig of memory. This was the most expensive, the two bloody graphics cards. I don't know why I wanted two graphics cards. I mean, I didn't even play games. I stopped playing games, I stopped playing games years ago, but I thought I've never had two graphics cards together and SLI and all that crap. But it's useless, unless you're playing certain games even. But for video editing, it's even more useless because it only uses one of the graphics cards anyway. SLI, two graphics cards together, half the games don't even utilize it. So what the hell do you need it for? And that was expensive. And these were expensive. So this water cooling, everything's bloody water cooled. It's so bloody noisy. And it was vibrating like you wouldn't believe. I had to put it on a separate desk from where I was because the vibration was so bad. So yeah, and remember these CD-ROMs. Hey Jerry, remember the CD-ROM? You don't care. I did have a laptop. So this was the first kind of entry into. I wanted to do video editing and stuff like that, so I wanted to have a small form factor. I was sick and tired of, the early 2000s having these big cases sitting around. So I thought I'd give the world of laptops a go, and it was pretty good. This one was a behemoth. You can see the size of it, and it's bloody heavy for back then as well. But this one had a graphics card as well. All the really thin ones that you get these days, they don't have the graphics card like the better graphics cards in them. I mean, this is a bad example because this is old. But for back then, you can see, and you can just see here how thick it is, and the fans, the big fans, because it's all about heat and dissipation. But I think laptops have actually caught up these days. But when I was at the shop, I did see that there were some really fast-spec'd laptops that were designed for content creation, so and gaming as well, I guess, these days. So the graphics cards in laptops are actually quite good now. So you can go down the laptop route if you don't want a big behemoth sitting there. And the beauty of these is you can carry them anywhere you want. If you're on holidays and you want to edit and you want to get your video up, or you want to edit your photos while you're on holidays and put them on Instagram. Okay, so let's test out DxO Pure Raw. I've got the older version, 1.6. One hot tip for photos and video is to store the photos on the actual SSD, not a 3.5 platter disk one. No matter if it's video or photo files, onto the SSD or the M2 disk. This way you'll get the fastest throughput. I know from past experience, so I can tell you, so 30 photos. And this soccer match that I did in my last video, it was, talk about grainy. I was at the highest ISO that the Olympus EM1 Mark II can go to, which is like 1200 billion or something like that. It's flying for them. Yeah. I think. Yeah, this is way faster from what I remember. Alright, so that took about 2 minutes. Like I said, I mean, I don't really mind this part of the process, because usually I just go have a cup of tea or a coffee and come back and it's all good. Okay, so let's try PhotoLab 5. What can I say? I mean, it's just super fast. Yeah, it's way fast. Normally that would take a little while to keep on doing it, to give you a little snapshot. Now it's just like instantaneous. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's try Luminar Neo. This is the main one that I use, and it fired up like you wouldn't believe. It was like it turned up on my screen before I blinked my eyes, so that's unreal. Let's just see how well this thing can clean up. But that was instantaneous. It's just that Luminar Neo's noiseless is pretty smudgy. Let's go to a proper photo by a professional. Let's do some light. What light beyond the window? Great. Let's make her even skinnier. On my old PC, this used to take ages for it to actually show up on my screen. When you slide, it wouldn't reflect on the screen instantaneously. Now it is. So it's torturous what I'm doing to this poor girl, but you get the picture. Okay, let's test the main thing that I bought this bloody behemoth computer for. Is the Vegas Pro 18 editing software. So if I look here, this is a 4K clip, and this is my preview of it. And normally a 4K clip would dagger, but this looks awesome. No stutter, no playback is awesome, and this is on. Let's go to best. And it's become a bit of a kind of like a little bit of a stutter. Yeah, you can see a little, just a little bit, but not much. Needs to warm up a bit, I guess. I don't know, but that's like 100 times better than before. What I would do before on my old computer, I'd actually have to right-click on it and create a proxy video, and that would create a smaller file, and then marry that up when I rendered the project. Alright, let's try and stabilize a 1 minute clip. That's really a good test. So we'll put stabilization on. Go to expert mode. That'll test the CPU, give it a run for its money. Analyze. That's taken around 2 minutes and about 2.5, nearly 3 minutes. Normally that would take around 10 minutes, I reckon, in the old days. Alright, let's add some third-party crazy stuff. Impressionist. Electrified hair. What the hell's that? Confetti storm. Now this really takes up a lot of processing power, I remember. How does this work?
We're on the track. We're on the Kokoda Trail.
That's really good. Yeah, far out. This is 4K and it's rendering it.
It was something
that would just completely crash the system before. And, I'm really happy with that. Joey. Okay, so that's it. That's the PC upgrade for 2023. Jerry seems to like it. Hey Jerry. So just if you're wanting the market for a new PC, it's probably overkill. Hey Jerry, a bit overkill that PC, and it was expensive. It's probably like, I think it was $5,600 for that. But I'm hoping that'll be future proof. I always buy expensive PCs and always regret it the next day. But hopefully it'll last me like 5 years or something. So it's just a matter of future proofing yourself, and that way you don't have to worry about getting more RAM or that later on, and upgrading. So expect more 4K videos from me. Not that anyone's going to utilize it, but if you do watch my videos on the big screen, now you'll have a much more pleasant experience. You'll have Jerry in 4K. Jerry, we might even try 8K.
We'll have tippy tail in 8K. I need to buy now the Canon. I don't think I have an 8K camera. I think the Canon has 8K. I'm not going to do 8K bloody videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Jerry, you say goodbye? Yeah, you're too busy licking.